nem pra investigação. Isso vai ser um alívio tão grande pra Magna.
Ele deixou escapar discretamente que ia estar no judiciário. Seu pai tem contato.
Sei, minha investigadora favorita.
Yes, so basically in the Brazilian telenovela Três Graças, it was released in 2025. The primary lesbian plotline centers on the relationship between Lorena and Juquinha. Their connection evolves, from a basically tentative friendship into a deep, intimate romance. They eventually find sense of comfort and safety in each other. And moral of the story, they are a happy, 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 happy couple. Today we will be breaking down part 3 of their relationship. I have done a part 1, a part 2, so this will just be a follow-up video on how far their relationship have come and what is currently still going on with them. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Last time I did a video on them, I basically left it off when they were, on this mini vacation at, in this case, how can we say, at Juquinha's, families, how can we say, getaway house, like vacation house. So they basically have decided to have their first ever mini vacation together. So everything is very sweet, everything is very romantic. You can just see them getting into very serious conversations and just having such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment together. But obviously during that mini vacation, you can see that Juquinha have proposed to Lorena and basically asked her to be her wife. So more of the story, even though there was no ring, no how can we say, official proposal, how can we say, with the family, it was more like a private proposal that just happened in the moment. Juquinha just felt like it was the right time to do it, so she had decided to propose to Lorena, and Lorena obviously said yes, because she like she always says, she have found her person and she just wants to be with her. So more of the story, they are engaged at this point, but still they are keeping their engagement a secret because they have a lot going on, especially in Lorena's family life. So they just want to keep this engagement private to themselves until they can announce it, in this case, to their families. So now you can see that their vacation was basically cut short because there was a situation that they needed to handle. Obviously you can see at the beginning that Juquinha, she was a little bit disappointed, the fact that their vacation got cut short, but obviously she did understand. But more of the story so far from that whole vacation situation, you can just see that they are totally so in love with one another. The way they can just get along and solve issues and compromise and just be there for each other no matter what. They understand each other's like, how can I say, life dynamic. Lorena, she's going through a very hectic time with her father. She's trying to detach from her father financially, so she have just got into a position to get a job at a restaurant. Juquinha wanted to support her financially so that she doesn't need to work, so she can focus on her personal projects. But obviously Lorena didn't accept that. She said, no, I want to work. I appreciate you wanting to help me, but I want to work. I want to have my own, even if it's just a little, it's my own. Obviously Juquinha was like, okay, if that's what you're gonna do, is that what you want to do, why don't you apply for this job here as a waitress at this restaurant. So that is exactly what happened. In this case, Lorena, she got a job at the restaurant, and you can slowly see that Lorena, she's starting to get her independence from her family. On the other hand, Juquinha, she's also facing a lot of pressure on work because she has to investigate a family, in this case, that is attached to, Lorena, is actually a family that she's investigating because of a robbery that happened of the Três Graças. So now she has to, basically take those people that help Lorena, and then who Lorena is staying with, to prison because of a certain crime that she has been investigating for months. So there's a lot of complicated dynamics always going on. But no matter what happens from in the outside when it comes to Lorena's father, Juquinha's investigation, they don't let that affect their relationship. They always find a way to know, okay, this is personal, this is what I have going on, but this relationship is us. They basically, just more of the story, they know how to keep things separate and not let the outside problems and situations, day problems and situations, affect what they have going on when it comes to them as a couple. So now you can see that Juquinha, and Lorena, they are at the phase of their lives where they are, okay, what's next? We are engaged, we are happy, we finally have a very good dynamic going on. I know I'm investigating the people that you are living with. I do care for them, but at the end of the day, I still have to do my job. So they are at a point where they were kind of stuck and want to see what is next for them as a couple. So Lorena was already planning on moving out to get her own place because her staying at this specific family's place was only temporarily until she can figure out what to do. So now that she has her job, she's working, even though she's not earning much, but it's enough for her. She finally wants to move out and, gain a little bit more independence, but she also know with the job that she has going on currently, financially, she doesn't have enough in order to get, her own place because like I said, she wants to detach from her father because her father is also being investigated for several crimes, and obviously in this case Juquinha is investigating her father as well, and there will come a moment of time that he will get arrested, and you can see that Lorena wants her father to pay for all the bad he have done. She's actually on the side of the law, like she has been in situations where she snitched on her father, that she like, yeah, I know certain things, I want this, I know this, I know this, and gave all of that information to Juquinha. But obviously, until this point, they could not figure out a way to catch her father because he's always, 10 toes ahead of the police. So, yeah, he's a very, very, very dangerous and smart man. On the other hand, now they are at the point where they're trying to see what is next for their relationship. So, Lorena and Juquinha, during a conversation that they were having, basically Juquinha and Lorena, they have decided that it was time to take one step more. They are engaged, they are in love, their relationship are going very well. Lorena is working, Juquinha financially is very stable because she also comes from a wealthy family and she's a police officer. So financially, she's very straight. Lorena is struggling financially, but she has a partner that is there for her no matter what. So they have decided that maybe it is time for them to move in together. So yes, basically Juquinha proposed, the offer for them to move in together. At the beginning, Lorena was so shocked, but obviously that's what she wanted. But she wanted Juquinha to say it, Juquinha to offer it. And obviously when she offered it, she accepted it. So basically, more of the story, they went apartment hunting and they finally found their perfect spot where they're gonna start a life together. So yes, they are engaged, they will be moving in together. Lorena have found a job as a waitress, that is helping her, stay ahead, even though it's not much, but it's still her own until she can figure out what is next. Juking is investigating Lorena's father and also the family that Lorena was living with. So there's a lot of trauma, I like how I say troubles and tribulations going through, but also a lot of good things at the same time going on for them. One thing I have to say that I would like to see them going through I won't say a rough path, but I would like to see how will they handle arguments. I would like to see how they will handle when they don't see eye to eye, because they are at a point of their relationship that they agree with everything, like they just get along so perfectly. I wonder how it would be when they don't get along, when they don't see eye to eye. What is gonna happen? How is that gonna affect their relationship? Will it affect their relationship? I would like to see a little bit of tribulations on the romantic side for them both, just to see how will they handle their situation, because so far what I could see, they handle everything perfectly well. So I would like to see how would they face challenges, when it comes to them two, not with other people, but with them two together as a couple. That will be also very nice, but I will definitely be keeping you guys updated regarding the story of this amazing couple. So yes, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your personal opinion down below in the comments regarding Lorena and Juquinha's relationship.